Hello guys, and welcome back to another Nukes Top 5 reaction. In this one we're going to be reacting to Nukes Top 5 ghost videos to scream along to. Okay. How long are you? About 24 minutes. It's a shorter one. Let's get right into it.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera, followed home. Now, longtime viewers of my channel might remember that almost 1 year ago, I featured a series of videos by a young Dutch woman named Sabia L. Sabia claimed that her apartment in the Netherlands was haunted by something that lurked in the shadows. Something dark and sinister.
Alright.
Kijk, zie.
Okay, that's easy. The door, I believe, will be a little harder.
Oh my god.
Again, easy. Notice how the ceiling lamp is
As time went by, the paranormal activity in Sabia's apartment
shaking right in the same direction as
becoming so terrifying that Sabia began to live in abject fear of whatever evil presence might be haunting her home.
Licht elke keer. Oh. Dat was een stem. Dat was een stem. Oh, Jezus.
9 months ago, Sabia L suddenly just stopped posting to YouTube entirely, leaving her concerned fans and followers wondering just what happened. But then, just 3 months ago, Sabia made a surprise return to her YouTube channel. She posted only one short video. The post was a positive one, letting her followers know that she had finally saved up enough money to move out of her terrifying haunted apartment. The 30-second video shows Sabia giving one final walkthrough of the empty apartment. Her optimistic video title proclaimed, "Last video, haunted apartment in the Netherlands. No more poltergeist activity for me."
Poltergeists have a habit of following you.
As you might guess, Sabia L's nightmarish story did not end there.
Yep.
Sabia says that she experienced months of peace and relaxation in her new home. But then strange and disturbing things began to happen all over again. The odd events quickly became more and more unsettling. One night, the lights in her hallway begin to flicker, so she pulls out her phone and begins to record.
Alright.
She encounters something absolutely horrifying.
Was it a mirror? Did she see a mirror?
Dat licht knipperde weer.
This isn't a hallway.
Oh, in het nieuwe huis. Dat.
Is there really a glass door separating the room from the hallway? I've never seen something like that before. I've never seen a door separating the, what is that, living room, dining room, from the hallway. I thought that was the hallway to the right.
Oh, ik durf niet.
I do like how she structures the video so far. So far, it's pretty obviously fake, but oh, a little coat room, nice. I've always wanted one of those, just a place to take off your outdoor shoes and put on your slippers.
Verdorie. Helemaal klaar mee.
Yeah, I don't like that it's swinging towards her. Another obvious sign it's a fake. And there are such a things as Wi-Fi and remote light bulbs now. I was looking at one to buy for my basement fixture. The one over the stairs leading down.
Did you see it? Sabia turns away from the hallway as the light fixture suddenly moves on its own. When she turns back, the hall light has gone out again, and something dark and menacing seems to be waiting there for her. Whatever it is then seems to charge up the stairs, but understandably, Sabia does not follow.
Yeah, they were on the stairs when she went in there. Either that or they were
Sabia L
outside.
believes that the dark, malevolent being that haunted her old apartment has now followed her to her new home. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments.
Trying to
You
figure
can
out
watch
if
this
that's
video
a
as well as all of
sister,
Sabia L's past
friend,
terrifying
or
encounters over on
boyfriend or
her
something.
channel, Sabia L. A window to...
Yeah, everything on that could be reproduced. The hardest thing would have been the sliding door. And, well, that's because every sliding door I've ever used has been a little bit hard to move. Well, not hard, but harder than a regular door. So, but again, that place looked rather new, so it might not have been as hard to set up to move with a string or something. But everything else, just basically very easy to reproduce. Especially that last part.
the soul. So this is the story.
But I did like it. It was good. It was well thought out. And I really liked the shoe room, or the coat room, actually.
That starts weird and just gets weirder. But first, a little bit of history. Way back in 1679, Irish Catholic priest Oliver Plunkett was arrested for supporting the Catholic faith, which at the time was considered a serious criminal offense by the English monarchy. He was held in Newgate Prison in London before being executed. And so here's where things get really weird.
Okay, common back
Over
then.
240 years later, in 1921, Oliver Plunkett's head, yes, just his head, was brought to St. Peter's Church in Drogheda, Ireland, where it was put on display in a garish, ornately decorated glass box. The St. Peter's Church also placed on display the prison door of Oliver Plunkett's jail cell from Newgate Prison, where Plunkett was held for 8 months before his execution. YouTube user Vicky Bramshaw was on vacation when she visited St. Peter's Church in
Most of the stuff
Drogheda,
would be
Ireland.
considered ghoulish
She's
nowadays.
recording the exhibit of Oliver Plunkett's jail cell door when she catches something absolutely unnerving.
It's
Hey,
just the
this
door
guy
to
was
cell
beheaded
Newgate
for having
prison,
faith.
where St. Oliver
Let's
Plunkett
display
was
his
imprisoned
head.
for 8 months.
He's a very most interesting figure
And I'm not religious.
because he was one of the first ecumenical Christian priests.
There is a small opening in the ancient jail cell door, and some pale, ghostly face just seems to peek out of it at them. Vicky says she has no idea what this face could be. She says she has no knowledge of visual effects to fake something like this,
It's something
and she
reflecting
didn't
off
even
the
notice the
glass.
face until she reviewed her footage later. So is this the ghost of Oliver Plunkett still peering from his old jail cell door? Or is it just a very, very odd trick of the light? You decide. Before
It's something on her reflecting off the glass. If you look when she moves to the right, well, when she turns to the right, it slightly moves to the right. When she slightly turns to the left, it slightly turns to the left. It's pretty obvious it's just something reflecting off that's on her body that's reflecting off of the glass.
we move on to the next
But yeah, the guy is a member of their faith, and they're displaying his severed head, which was cut off for practicing the faith. It's ghoulish. If somebody's head was cut off nowadays, I don't think we're going to take their heads and fucking display them.
video. If you see anything that you think should be included in the top 5, contact us at nukestop5@gmail.com. The Haunting Tales of Chernobyl. On April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded, resulting in the worst nuclear catastrophe in history. A total of 117,000 people were evacuated, but many suffered horrific tragic deaths as lethal levels of radiation swept over the countryside. To this day, the land around the reactor is still highly radioactive. It has been deserted for over 35 years. Italian paranormal investigators Paolo, Debbie, Jack, and Simone from the YouTube channel Pit Paranormal Investigation have the unique opportunity to explore and investigate the abandoned ghost towns surrounding the Chernobyl power plant. Experienced tour guide Alex safely escorts the group through the dangerous area. The Pit team begins their journey in Pripyat, the city closest to the Chernobyl power plant. The nervous investigators soon realize that they have to conduct their investigation in an entirely different way than normal, as everything around them is highly contaminated with radioactive fallout.
E dobbiamo completamente cancellare tutte le abitudini che abbiamo.
Ed è una cosa
È
difficilissima.
difficilissimo, ma anche solo appoggiare uno zaino momentaneamente per terra.
Non si può.
Appoggiare, non lo so,
Non
un
puoi legarti
ginocchio
la
per
scarpa,
terra
eh.
per
Yeah,
legarti
that
la
tour guy
scarpa,
needs to
non
make
si
his
può.
money.
Raga,
He needs
è
to have enough money
veramente
to,
una cosa
Guardate,
difficile
solo
da
così.
fare.
Take care
Questo è
of
un
his,
contatore Geiger.
boy,
Misura le
his
radiazioni.
girl boy.
Solo per dirvela
boy
brevemente,
girl.
siamo a 1,40, 1,50.
You see, his baby's got
Contate
two
che la
heads,
soglia
one's female, one's male.
massima è 0,30.
Because he regularly
Now,
goes
most
to
of the
Chernobyl.
abandoned buildings in Pripyat are extremely dangerous to enter,
Yeah, you come
so
up with a
it's
better
illegal
joke.
to go inside most structures. For this reason, investigator Paolo has brought along a small remote-controlled car with an attached GoPro. He carefully drives it into one of the abandoned structures as he records. After a bit of exploring with the RC car, he stops it inside and leaves the camera recording in an attempt to capture anything out of the ordinary. When they review their footage, the team is shocked.
It's a
Now, as I
shadow.
mentioned before, Paolo and his team are all outside and no one is allowed into this building. So what is this?
Somebody's shadow
A
walking
strange
outside.
shadow moves from right to left, seemingly followed by two other strange shadow anomalies. Soon the investigators are forced to leave the area, as they can only be exposed to the high radiation level for a limited time. Another night, and the Pit Paranormal team has the unique opportunity to explore the abandoned old Chernobyl hospital. Obviously, the building was the site of intense tragedy and suffering, as many passed away here during the Chernobyl meltdown. It is said that their spirits still haunt the hospital. The Pit team brings all of their equipment, hoping to properly investigate the hospital and maybe even make contact with any spirits that might inhabit the building.
You okay?
What they capture is truly bizarre.
L'hai sentito?
Cos'era?
L'hai sentito?
Cos'era sta botta?
Ma forte. Raga,
Cos'era?
l'hai sentito? Cos'era?
Ok, l'avete sentito?
Sì,
Ma di brutto era di là.
di là sì, sembrava uno strumento con qualcosa che si spostava.
Qua dentro.
Arrivava da una direzione. Arrivava. Sì, per favore,
Aspetta, fammi prendere.
A strange, unexplained sound startles the Pit Paranormal team. Paolo grabs his thermal camera and starts to record. What happens next is downright chilling.
Okay.
Vado. Vai, che ansia.
Ma che rumore era?
Allora, a me è sembrato un oggetto che si spostava, ma perché ci sono tanti oggetti qua.
No, però potrebbe essere qualcosa dentro una stanza. O era nel corridoio, perché noi eravamo in una stanza, non abbiamo sentito bene.
Non ho capito, non so, sicuramente era. Raga, voi due siete i nostri occhi.
They heard a noise.
Poi. Anche te già che siete i nostri occhi. Perché io vedo ben poco.
Chi c'è? C'è qualcuno qui? Puoi avvicinarti?
Il muro. Cosa? Davanti a Simo a destra. Il muro davanti a Simo a destra. Questo ha formato. Raga. Cosa? Raga, ha formato una persona.
What's he talking about?
Raga, si è formata una persona lì. Ma stai scherzando? Lì. L'hai filmata? L'ho filmata. Sono in rec. Si è formata una persona, io dico una sagoma bianca, con testa, spalle e tutto, lì davanti.
It's just them seeing what they want
A
to
creepy
see.
figure seems to appear but can only be seen through the thermal camera. Inexplicably, the figure seems to emit more and more heat. Paolo and cameraman
No,
Simone
that's them
approach the apparition
adjusting it until
and
they
they
see what they want to
discover
see.
something
They're
terrifying.
adjusting the sensitivity.
Fammi vedere. Sono in una con te. Porca vacca. Stai scherzando? La porta. È chiusa, tu sei chiusa. Non chiusa. Mi sembra che abbiano anche ripresa, perché mi stavo girando per venire a prenderti in faccia. E mi sembra che l'ho anche ripresa che stava chiudendo io lontano. Non l'ho chiusa io.
Paolo and Simone are shocked as the thermal camera reveals footprints on the floor in the room right next to where the figure appeared. The door slams shut and locks, separating Debbie and cameraman Jack.
Why would the footprints
and
be
now,
cold
they
while the
too
figure
encounter
was hot?
something terrifying out in the hospital hall.
The figure was supposed to be hot. Why would the footprints be cold?
Che ci sta prendendo in giro. Non ci vuole far paura.
C'è qualcuno. Chi c'è?
Cos'era?
Jack.
Arriva da quella porta, c'è una porta socchiusa, Debbie.
Jack, c'è qualcuno.
Arriva da quella porta lì. Arriva da quella porta lì, è socchiusa.
C'è una voce.
Did you hear it? The two nervous investigators capture a deep, breath-like voice on camera.
Cos'era? Porta lì. Arriva da quella porta lì, è socchiusa.
C'è una voce.
Eventually, the team is reunited and they leave Chernobyl believing that they did in fact make contact with some of the ghosts of Chernobyl's past. I
They're-
highly recommend
they're
that you check out
stretching
Pit
it. They're
Paranormal's
reaching.
8-part Chernobyl series. All 8 videos have subtitles in multiple languages, including English. Excessively
So, that's complete bullshit, that video. They weren't even trying. They adjusted it so much just to get that image to pop out. Just not even close. And then the footprints, why would the footprints be colder than the rest of the floor when whatever figure they were supposed to be reflecting was hot? I know ghosts are supposed to cool down an area, but not just where the feet would be. The area should have been more circular if something like that's what happened. It's just ridiculous. Not even. And the fact that they had it set so sensitive that the floor was showing to be hot just to get the cold footprints like that. With that type of camera, basically the bluer it is and darker it is, the colder it is, and the lighter it is, like yellows and reds and oranges, the hotter it is. Couldn't get back into the video. By the way, nuclear power is one of the best powers there are. Most of the meltdowns, like with Chernobyl, is because they cut corners when making them. It wasn't as long as they're built for as long as they're built how they're supposed to be built, with the safety mechanisms put in and the fail safes, it's actually pretty safe. It's one of the best forms of energy we have now. It does some of the least amount of polluting. And from what I hear, we have ways to store or get rid of the nuclear waste, or ways to make it break down faster. The only thing, in my opinion, that's better than nuclear is probably hydro, basically using dams, but that will affect a lot of land because for you to form the lake for the when you block off the water flow, that will change the landscape and cause a lot of devastation to local life and stuff, but will create a giant reservoir and it gives pretty good energy. Solar has many limitations. It can only be powered when there's light. If it's stormy or cloudy, it can affect the amount of power, and storing the energy from it is a big issue. Wind, well, the wind turbines can be designed where there will be less lethal to birds, but again, wind is another, but it's it's an roundabout way of doing solar because the winds are caused by the sun. Basically, the sun heating up air, pulling it up in one area and it going down in other areas, and that's what creates wind. Basically, updrafts and downdrafts. So basically, if you're from a natural windy area, maybe, but again, it's not dependable. The most dependable forms of energy that aren't polluting are basically hydro and nuclear. If we could get more of those spread out, energy would get a lot cheaper, first off. It's not easy to redirect rivers, but that might also be a good idea for basically if it was possible to redirect rivers through droughted areas, that would be awesome, but again, that's a pipe dream. So yeah, go nuclear. People are way too against nuclear when basically, as long as they're built properly and to spec and have all the safeties included in it, nuclear is one of the safest and cleanest energies.
Haunted. Now, if you're a regular Nukes Top 5 viewer, you know that I've featured the popular paranormal YouTube channel Really Haunted many times. Homeowners Lee and his wife Stacy have experienced increasingly violent paranormal activity in their home in England for years now. And it just seems to keep getting worse.
Who lies on their belly with their head to the side? That awkwardly. I'm a side sleeper, so I'm asking because I don't know.
Lee's wife Stacy says that since the bed incident, she is so scared of the violent poltergeist in their house that she often just avoids sleeping in their home.
You notice how his leg is over...
I stayed in the caravan a bit before that, but that was
I'll point this out later.
Once that happened, I never went back in the house after that.
Over the 4 months since I last featured Really Haunted, Lee says that the activity in his home has only become more intense.
He looks a lot younger than she does. Okay, that kid is easy to reproduce. Easy to reproduce. Very easy to reproduce. That one could be reproduced, but
stop.
Well, I'll explain that later too. I swear that could have just been him snagging the cord.
Lee says that he refuses to leave his home, regardless of the extreme poltergeist activity. But
now,
facing off against a malevolent spirit
here
is not easy. Late one night, Lee hears noises outside his second-story bedroom. He gets up to investigate, but it did not go well.
In the meantime, we're gonna go for a national photo.
he trying to say he got pushed? Because that's not being pushed.
No, if something's shaking door.
Something seems to violently push Lee, launching
That
him
was
backwards.
not being
and whatever
pushed.
pushed him now wants in the room.
Maybe in 3D effect movies and shit like that, but not in
Nice.
real life.
That's the attic. How can it be doing both at once?
So is Lee's house, quote, really haunted? As always, I leave that to you to decide. To see the full story and videos of Lee's encounter with the dark presence that terrorizes his home, I highly recommend checking out the YouTube channel, Really Haunted.
Okay, so let's go ahead and rewind the video a bit and just point out a few things. All the way to the beginning. Okay. First off, she looks a lot older than he does. Okay.
Experienced increasingly violent paranormal activity in their home in England for years now. And
her hair being yanked
just
in this direction, and she just happens to be lying in the perfect position for it to be yanked. How do people lie on their bellies like that?
seems to keep getting worse.
Okay, it's just the shadow going over and somebody pulling her. I don't really have to explain that. Now, the thing I wanted to explain here is, you see how his leg is outside the bedding like this? Now, a lot of people might think, oh, his leg just slipped out when he was sleeping. But if you look at all the other things of him sleeping, his leg is never over the blanket like it is here. Somebody else might think it's just his leg being outside the blanket. To me, it looks like he's holding the blanket in place. And if you look up here, the blanket's also going under his arm. So basically, this is set up like this so the blanket doesn't get pulled off the bed. So it makes it look like she's being pulled under the blanket. So he's holding the blanket with both his leg and his arm. Take a look. You see?
What's up?
My back.
Lee's wife Stacy says that since the bed incident, she is so scared of violent poltergeist and over the 4 months since I last featured Really Haunted, Lee.
This is all easy to explain, just strings pulling towards the camera. It being knocked down the stairs and being pulled with a string. You notice how whenever it's pulled, it's always towards some place that's off screen. This I could reproduce, but you'd have to, normally with the knobs for the burners, you have to push them down to turn them on. So to actually do this with a string, you'd have to actually have it pushed down and put to where it was originally going to be. But that might have a little bit of gas leaking. Let me check. Let's get a look at the size of the flame when it first lights. Okay, no, that's fine. It doesn't look like they had much leaking out beforehand, but it's just basically they turn it barely on, they push it down and get it to right before it locks, and then you just use a string and you yank on it and it will turn the knob.
Stop. Sit.
That pulls right towards them.
Holy
And this pulls right towards him, especially when he reaches down.
Lee says that he refuses to leave his home, regardless of the extreme, but facing.
Now, if you look here, it's not natural for him to sleep outside with his legs outside the covers, as you can see here. He doesn't have his arm or leg outside the covers. They're both under the covers.
Off against a malevolent spirit is not easy.
Even here, his legs are covered. Got an arm out this time, but his legs are covered.
Late one night, Lee hears noises outside his second.
Also, notice how this is moving towards this door right here.
Second-story bedroom. He gets up to investigate, but it did not go well.
In the meantime, we're gonna go for a national.
Now, right here, if you look, he's basically lying on top of the bed here, so both of his legs are out. Now watch. It's very convenient how he gets shoved here. You see, upon walking out, if you look, he's basically walking straight through the door, comes out, gets shoved back into the door, and magically he turns around and he's shoved going forward. So basically he does a twirl on his heel and basically gets shoved down towards his chair while basically flipping around and doing a 180. Maybe not a 180, more like a 90. It's very convenient that he gets shoved and doesn't go straight backwards. His body starts to turn. I don't know how many of you have been shoved, but yeah, normally if you get shoved, you start backtracking. You don't twist your body, because that will pretty much guarantee you to stumble on your face.
As always, I leave that unwell.
So yeah, that one, interesting setup. Just don't buy it at all. Everything's too easy to explain. The way he was shoved, the way he was sleeping, that, and they both seem to be belly sleepers, even though he was on his side once. How the hell do you sleep on your belly? Then again, I don't really understand how people sleep on their backs. It's so uncomfortable. As I said, I'm a side sleeper, so maybe it's because of my weight. I don't know.
Welcome. Paranormal investigator Sandro Silva from the YouTube channel Casa Sobrenatural sets out to explore an abandoned home in Brazil. The house is said to be extremely haunted by multiple dark spirits. He's joined by his two friends, Macon and Climerson, as they carefully walk through the rubble of the deserted structure. The air feels heavy as the team reflects on the ominous atmosphere. Suddenly, they get an unexpected fright.
Nossa, essa energia muito pesada, mano, nessa casa. É sinistro, muito cabuloso, cara. Meu Deus
I don't
do
like
céu.
people talking about energy.
Você viu o barulho, mano?
House has such a heavy energy.
Cara, foi nitidamente. Quebrou, mano. Caiu, quebrou, mano.
Pesada. Vocês viram que caiu uma teia ali, mano.
Nossa, foi nítido, cara. Quebrou, mano. Vamos arpar o pé daí, mano.
Mano, caiu a teia ali, velho.
Vai jogar teia em cima da nossa cabeça, é louco?
Tem alguma coisa aqui, cara, que não quer nós aqui, mano.
Não.
The three friends suspect a roof tile has fallen nearby and discuss whether it's safe to continue their investigation. But before they can even reach a decision, things take a terrifying turn.
Oh! Escutando?
Looking at that place, I say no, it does not look too safe.
Oh!
Nossa, tá andando, mano.
Tá andando, mano. Você tá escutando?
Tô, cara.
Tem alguma coisa aqui, cara. Ai, ai, cara! Ai, ai, cara!
What? Oh. That was so hard to notice. How did he even notice it? Just looked like somebody creeping up, slouched over.
Meu Deus do céu, você não sabe o que eu vi ali, cara. Calma, cara. Eu vi um cara ali, eu vi uma criança. Eu vi uma criança, cara. Claro, cara. Você não viram?
Eu não vi.
Meu Deus do céu, tinha uma criança aqui, cara.
Wow, they didn't run far.
Nossa, cara, primeira vez, cara. Mas que uma criança vai estar aqui,
Let's
cara?
run
Será que
15
morreu uma
feet
criança
from the
aqui,
thing
cara?
we just saw. We'll be
Cara, mas
safe
já começou
there.
a cair uma teia, cara. Aí você grita que viu alguma coisa que é. Eu, claro que eu vou correr. Mas eu não vi nada, cara.
Ó, tá andando, mano. Tá andando, velho.
Tá andando, mano. Ó, meu Deus,
Nossa senhora, caiu uma telha ali, cara. Você tá doido, mano.
Wow, a lot of roof tiles are falling.
Cara, tem visagem aqui pra caramba, mano. Você tá doido, velho.
Sandro is shocked as he sees the pale apparition of a child right in front of him.
It's not child, it's
He
a
gathers his
Bigfoot.
courage and checks out the area, but there's no one there. Then another roof tile falls and the three friends just make a run for it. So did the Casa Sobrenatural team capture the ghost of a child
Oh,
on
that's
camera?
Cass. I was thinking Kaka.
Let me know what you
Kaka.
think. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my Instagram here, my Twitter over there.
That one, just somebody, it's amazing he was able to see the guy if that wasn't planned. They didn't run very far, which makes me doubt it's authentic. Made me doubt it was real. I have a problem with some words. Authenticity. Authenticity. Okay. I'm probably still fucking up that word so much. So yeah, I liked it. Nuke's channel will be linked in the description, as well as the link for this video.
And then tickety flippity. Anyway, I hope I'll see you again next week.
I'll be checking out as many of your videos as I can, Nuke. No, you stop. I got some of the folder things in the same bucket. Not this. Okay. So that's it for this one. All in all, it was a good video. Most of them were good. Well thought out. Weren't too lazy. A few of them were lazy, but most of them weren't too lazy. They were good productions. Definitely would enjoy watching them. Especially if they release like some sort of movie series or something, I would really enjoy watching it. But that's it for this one. So if you guys have any other suggestions of other channels to watch or anything else you'd like me to watch or would like me to try playing, let me know in the comments. And until next time, guys, be safe and have fun.